about this year's Lenten Offering project. The time of Lent is the 6 weeks before Easter, where we get to reflect on the sacrificial love that Jesus demonstrated for us. This period of Lent also provides an opportunity for us to consider how we may together participate in sharing this good news we just sang about, even in a sacrificial way, to people who have never heard the good news, or even the name Jesus. These people groups are considered unreached. They have no access to the good news unless someone brings it to them. But who are these unreached people? Most of the world's unreached people groups live in the 1040 window, stretching from North Africa across the Middle East to Asia. In this 1040 window is India, which has more unreached people for the gospel than any other nation. Nearly 40% of the world's unreached people live in India, and 90% of India's 1.4 billion people have not heard the gospel. Now, this is where our project comes in. Our partner MK with the Friends of India Network has selected 4,000 disciples for a special training program. They have a key role in ensuring that none of the 242,000 villages in this part of northern India are not left behind. These emerging church planters gather in cohorts of 40 for 5 days of intensive training. They serve in the field for 3 months, practicing what they've learned, and then they return for 5 more days of intensive training, and this cycle repeats for 15 months. Waypoint's goal is to raise $24,000, which will support 4 new cohorts. That's 160 emerging church planters. Over the 15 months, each planter is expected to reach 10 to 15 villages, lead 150 to 200 people to Christ, and baptize 20 believers. So if you do the math with these 160 church planters, they could share the gospel in 1,600 to 2,400 new villages, lead 24,000 to 32,000 people to Christ, baptize 3,200 new believers, and all in this 15-month period, right? There are several ways that you can participate. Prayer is the most important thing we can do as believers. If you did not receive a prayer card in the mail, please pick one up in the lobby. It has weekly prayer points that we can all be praying together. If you're able to give, please give. Consider how God's calling you to sacrificially give. The Lenten offering will be dedicated on Easter Sunday, and you can give at any time online or at the church office or in the boxes in the lobby. And then join us each Sunday to learn this Lent, to hear more about how God is moving in India and using Waypoint Church. Thank you for being a church that faithfully prays, gives, and partners in God's kingdom's work.